Family, once again, it pains me to bring you this story. I'm not going to talk about it much before the video starts, but let's just check it out and listen to it together. Check it out, family.
The Maryland State House advancing a bill that would permit condoms to be sold in vending machines on public school campuses, including preschools. Republicans in the legislature say it's going too far. Maryland State Delegate Kathy.
It is going too far, family. Why on earth would they want to put condoms in preschools and in kindergarten? You got to be kidding me. Let's continue.
Leg is calling on parents to wake up, and she joins us now. So here's what Maryland Department of Legislative Services says about this bill that's making its way through the State House. This bill repeals the misdemeanor prohibition against an associated penalty for selling or offering for sale a contraceptive or contraceptive device by means of a vending machine or other automatic device at a kindergarten, nursery school, elementary school, or secondary school. And I think a lot of people...
They want to repeal a bill that made it a crime to do this. Just when you think the Democrats can't stoop any lower than they already are, here you go and you hear about this story. It's sick, it's twisted, it's sad. What's the justification? Why are you doing this? What are you trying to do to our children, Democrats? You got all kind of books in schools teaching kids how to do sex acts and everything else. You got all of this stuff in schools targeting kids. What's the end goal here, Democrats? Black preacher, what's the end goal? I want to know.
At home are saying, what?
All of us on that, well, most of us on the House floor said exactly that. What is this? So we offered an amendment on the bill on second reading, when you can amend a bill, to just say, look, just high schools. You know, we wouldn't like...
Okay, that's fair to put them in high schools. But what is the motivation for putting them in elementary schools, preschools, kindergarten? What's the motivation for that? And you pastors, you go, I don't hear you say nothing about stuff like this here, but you want to boycott Target and everywhere because they repealed DEI programs that didn't benefit our people hardly any at all. You'll get out there and buck dance and jump around for that, but you keep your mouth shut. You more quiet than a church mouse when it comes to issues like this right here. It's sick. You know what I want to see people do? Boycott you. Boycott giving up them good tithing and offering on Sunday and see what happens, see what you start doing. I bet you will come in line then, preacher.
That either.
Ought to be outraged. But now you want to organize marches and stuff over DEI policies for Target and Walmart and Amazon or whatever, for programs that didn't help our people hardly none.
Republicans and the Maryland Freedom Caucus would not like that, but they rejected it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of schools that are teaching abstinence, right?
Well,
and,
right.
you know, maybe abstinence until marriage in a best case scenario, or maybe abstinence until you're in college, but to put condoms in a vending machine puts it right there in front of you. But why? What justification is there for doing this
I don't get it.
at a nursery school or a kindergarten? I mean, unless you just want to make a very broad brush law that doesn't have...
These are the same people that apparently they don't see anything wrong with men in women's bathrooms with your little girls. They don't see anything wrong with men playing women's sports. They don't see anything wrong with terminating pregnancies at will, using that as a form of birth control. They don't see anything wrong with terminating pregnancies at the 9th month. They don't see nothing wrong with everything evil. And the scripture says in the last days they're going to call good evil and evil good. And that's where the Democratic Party's at. And you preachers, you need to start preaching that gospel and quit running around here buck dancing.
That doesn't take a lot to interpret it. Put it that way.
It makes no sense whatsoever. And, you know, the intent may have at some point been high school, but when they rejected our move to just make it high school again, I, like you, would say you're discriminating against traditional families that don't want their 14-year-old daughter going to a high school and walking down the hall in front of a sex vending machine.
Right.
But, you know, putting this in a daycare or nursery school.
Democrats don't uphold family values at all. They are wicked. And they're making a fool out of black people.
And, you know, into a preschool. I am a grandmother of two beautiful 10 and 7-year-old girls, and I can't imagine them walking down the hall and seeing a colorful condom vending machine.
I know, right?
With condoms and other things in it, and then having to have a conversation with the 7-year-old. You know, Mama, what's a condom? What's in that machine?
Well, maybe they're thinking if we're running out of balloons to make balloon animals, we just go to the vending machine. So here's what Maryland State Delegate Nicole Williams said, trying to...
Okay, look. Take a look at Nicole Williams and how they put a black face out front to push this bill. And many of our folks ain't got sense enough to see what's being done. Check it out.
Justify the move. Listen here.
It's not dictating what school systems should and shouldn't do. It's not mandating anybody to do anything or suggesting that they should do something. It's just removing a criminal penalty. The sky is not going to fall if we pass this bill.
I guess what she's saying there is it's not like you're going to suddenly see condoms at preschool. It just removes the criminal penalty, and then...
Why are we out here putting our face on stuff that's ignorant and stupid? Why are we the ones doing it? You remember Ketanji Brown, the Supreme Court justice that Biden nominated? When they was trying to confirm her, they was asking her over and over again, can she name the two genders? What are the two genders? And she couldn't answer that question. She could answer it, but she didn't want to answer it the right way. She just kept buck dancing and jumping around. And now you got this black lady here pushing and trying to put condoms in vending machines for kindergartners. Family, we got to stop. We can't keep falling for this crap. You see how the Democrats use and take advantage of us? They got you out there pushing a wicked agenda.
Schools are free to do what they want to do with this.
Well, that's how they start, right, John? They start by saying, oh, don't object to this. But in the meantime, there was another bill on the Health and Government Operations Committee to put Plan B, birth control pills, all kinds.
See, they want to push it. They want to just keep pushing it far as they can push it. You want to repeal and make this make it where it's legal to do this. Right now, it's illegal, thank goodness. But you're trying to make it legal to do this. And once you do this, you're going to push the envelope even further and further and further. My God.
Kinds of things in high schools. So, you know, they're playing chess. Plan, you know, first move, we remove the penalties so we can get the vending machine in the high school and other schools as well. And then next year, they're going to come back and they're going to put birth control pills, Plan B, condoms, you know, as I told them on the House floor. Next year, you'll come back to regulate it. Yeah. I mean, this is how it works.
You black Democrats, you are sacrificing your values, whether they be Christian or whatever. You are sacrificing your values to stand with this wicked Democratic Party. If you don't want to be a Republican, I get it. But why do you keep standing here with this Democratic Party when you see they mean you no good? And here we out there boycotting and running around and jumping around. What we're doing is we're boycotting for somebody else's agenda. We're boycotting. Who's the number one receiver of DEI? They said it was the white woman. So in essence, you're boycotting so these white women can continue to get these good jobs while you sit at the house or you sit at these low-end jobs or whatever. But that's what you're out there boycotting for. You're boycotting to let the LGBT get these good jobs and move in, and you're boycotting to let the illegals get these jobs over you. You're boycotting. You're just boycotting in vain. And who's leading the charge? The black pastor.
And all of this at the same time as they're also taking away a parental opt-out provision for education about gender identity in schools too.
The Democrats don't want parents to really be parents of the kids, because if you do something or say something they don't like, the Democrats is encouraging you to go to school and say, my mama picking on me because she won't let me be a little boy today, and my daddy picking on me because he don't want me playing with baby dolls, and the Democrats encouraging you to tell on them.
So, and then we'll keep watching your Safe Girls in Sports bill, which you've been trying to advance. We're watching what's going on in Maine. And in fact, State Delegate Laurel Libby will be joining us next hour to talk about that. Kathy Szeliga, great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Thanks
for having me on.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, family, this is a sad story, and it's one of those stories that you shouldn't even have to talk about, but it's unfortunate that I'm sitting here today having to bring this to you. And we out here stomping in the paint, going crazy for wild, wicked Democratic policies for the sake of race, for the sake of party. I hate these people over here, this, that, and the other. And this coming from the church. Why is it that you have a black church and a white church? Black folks serve one Jesus, white folks serve another. Isn't it the same Yeshua or Jesus, what you call him? Isn't it the same? Aren't the values the same? Shouldn't they be the same? Isn't that book written the same way for whether a white person read it or whether a black person read it? It seems like to me the understanding is different based off your color. But the way I understand it, the policies that the Democrats are pushing and upholding and going out here stomping hard in the paint over, they're wicked. And the black preacher is the one that's pushing hard for this stuff. I don't get it, family. But one thing about it, if you do not like what I'm saying, you better learn to love it, because guess what? I've got to tell it.